Greetings, beloved. Hi, it's Dr. Amanda Noelle, the Twin Flame Matchmaker, and I've gotten the question lately from a couple of you, what do I do if my twin flame or soulmate dies or disappears? So stay tuned because I'm going to help you get through the process. If you've been dumped, if someone has totally disappeared, or even the worst, when someone is deceased on the other side, how do you deal with this if your heart is connected from that twin flame energy? So stay tuned. So why do we die? Well, you have to ask the other question, why do we live? Why are we here embodied? I would guess that we're here to learn to love, and we're also here, all of us, to learn to let go. All of us are going to die. We're all gonna die! It's freaking crazy because we come into this reality, we reincarnate, we're born, and we don't remember, at least not very clearly. Maybe some of you have glimpses of past lives. I'm a certified past life regression therapist, and I still feel like it's pretty crazy that we can tap into our past lives, that it's a true real thing. But for the most part, we all remember only this life as us in a very real type of way. And so this reality, when we're living here and we decide to really show up this lifetime and live fully and call in love, we get very serious. We get very attached. This body temple becomes the only real body we have. This mind is the only mind in its only form that we know of. So the reason we live and the reason we die is to learn to love and let go. The hard part about this is that in order to fully show up and have and receive and really fulfill our dreams and all the prophecies, we also have to let it go and let it turn to dust and trust that that served not only ourselves, but that it also served our disciples and our descendants, and that our legacy has been built. Most of us, and most often all of us, have moments where it's really hard to think about our own death. It's really hard to think about losing someone close to us. Death is not really necessarily a fun thing, especially if you are really invested in having a great time and you're actually living your dreams and you're connecting and you're following your happiness. We usually don't want to go. And the ego even really keeps us very alive in our survival. The body is programmed to stay alive. So when our twin flame or our soulmate disappears from the scene, it rips us in two. The part of us that wants to continue with them cannot, but still tries. And I don't know if you've had this experience before, but you lose a loved one and you wake up every morning thinking, oh, I'm going to tell them this, or, oh, I had this wonderful dream about them, and then they're not there. And then on the other hand, there's a part of you that the reality is they're gone. So that ripping apart actually opens us up into the resurrection phase, the death and rebirth, but we do have to also die. So the way to deal with a twin flame leaving us is that it's time to understand that we ourselves are going through a death. And while this person is someone we loved and cared for, we're actually grieving ourselves as we know it. We're grieving the connection that made us who we are today. And on the flip side of that, we are birthing ourselves into a new possibility, a new level of awareness, an understanding of what loss is, an understanding of what is not lost. So when a twin flame dies or disappears, there's a part of them that is always within us, that always was within us even before they met us. However, we can get attached. We can say that person is my beloved. That is God. That is not. That is love, and I don't love anyone else. No one else can meet my needs. And so that is a very common experience. I had it myself when I went through twin flame separation with a twin flame counterfeit. where I felt attached to this person to the point where I felt that they were the only one for me. They were essentially kind of like God in a very finite, limited, scarce universe, and no one else could give to me. If you are experiencing this, the loss of a twin flame, where you feel like you've cut half of yourself off, it's gone to the dogs, there's nothing left but this rickety one half, I want to reframe this for you. You're actually rebuilding a new part of yourself. A new part of your brain is being built. You're growing thicker skin. You're grounding deeper. There's the possibility that you're grounding deeper. While some may want to just tune out, become alcoholic, fly off to the stars, it's an opportunity to actually expand your consciousness as you ground down. So I want to bring it home that death is an opportunity to expand our consciousness while we are alive. It can be incredibly painful. It can also be incredibly beautiful. I remember when I would walk with my headset on, looking up at the stars alone in this little town. I'd been heartbroken. I felt like I had died because my beloved was gone. He wasn't coming back, but I was still embodied, and I didn't know if there was any reason to live because I had lost out. And I hung on with an inkling of hope, but what I would do is I would do something that would pleasure me, which was music. I loved Pandora, and I loved a station on Pandora. At the time, it was Blue Tech. It's a very galactic beat, and I would put these headphones on. It's really good, the Snoopy ears, and I would blast the music, and I would look up the stars, and I would say, I am home. I'm home here on Earth. There's no separation. I would just meditate. And it really nurtured my soul. And I look back now, and even though I was in the depths of my pain, I felt completely lost and heartbroken. I look back and I was like, those were some pretty good tunes. I had some pretty good deep cries, and that was kind of a cool time. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it again, but there's beauty in grief. There's a richness in pain. There is so much to learn in our sorrow. So while I'm sorry for your loss, my friend, I know how hard it is, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemies to go through what you might be going through now. It's also an opportunity to remember that with one little flicker of hope, one little ember, you can ignite an entire forest and rebirth those seeds and rebirth those trees. It is a cycle of life and death. It is a cycle of letting go and letting love. And that brings me to my next topic. Is I've created a 6-module course called Let Go, Let Love. And I would love to offer this course to you at an introductory rate. It's a course that I've crafted to help women who are undergoing heartbreak, who have let go of a loved one, or who have to get to that place to cut the cords, to release it back into spirit. So if you're interested in this course, go ahead and click the link below to learn more. I would be happy to serve you in your resurrection into your true twin flame energy. And I wanted to say that truly those of us who have lost and gotten heartbroken are not broken. We're not broken souls. We can be heartbroken open. We can receive more than we've ever believed we could. Your twin flame is not just one thing, one opportunity. It's through that polarity where it seems like there's one, but there's actually 11 or an infinite number of ones. So while I can't answer that question with full positive knowing, when people ask me, Amanda, is there only one twin flame or are there more? I believe that on a soul level, there's one soul, and our soul might have many, many forms, perhaps infinite number of forms. Perhaps we are the infinite creator. And so while from a certain dimension, there is only one life partner for you that you will spend the rest of your life with, there may also be breaks in that. There might be different bodies carrying that same soul. You also may feel like you die and reborn, get rebirthed 10 times in one lifetime. Same body, same candy wrapper, but you might swap out the chocolate for a little cherry or something like that. We're always growing, we're always learning. So learning to let go and learning to see what's in front of us and be grateful for it. So that's the last tip that I want to give to you, is gratitude. Like for me, it was that music. It was blue tech and listening to music, and I didn't have much of an appetite even at that time. It was hard to eat. It was hard to sleep. That music kept my flame alive. So I'd love to hear what kept your flame alive or is keeping you alive right now. Post in the comments below. Let's share our stories. Come out with the things that are working and exchange. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Also, I do videos every week, and if you haven't subscribed, I would be so honored. I'm getting closer to 11,000 subscribers, which is cool and crazy, and I love it. And I love that you're here working on your twin flame path. So I'll see you next week. Stay tuned. Namaste. Namasko.